you surprised yourself.
We surprised ourselves, and there were a lot of feelings. We were apprehensive, we were excited, we were like, okay, will there be traction? The idea of the campaign was to make people do it.
What was the impact like?
It's amazing to see the way we are aspiring to do something for the consumers.
HDFC Bank it sets standards. It's a legacy institution in India.
The nature of the fraud is such that the fraudsters are way ahead up the curve in terms of changing the trend. This is pretty much like the in the Hindi movies where the police comes at the end of the whole scene, right? But
Hello and welcome to MediaCast, the podcast series from Mediabrief.com. I'm your host and friend Pawan Chawla, and I'm truly delighted that today on MediaCast, which is an episode series of podcasts, which actually celebrates the great work done by those CMOs and heads of all kinds of marketing. These are the people, these are the professionals who demonstrate how to best create engagements to empower businesses. And today I have somebody who's right up front in that line, a really young veteran, right? His name, and please join me as I welcome, is Jahid Ahmed. Jahid, thank you very much indeed for being on the show and for your time. The trigger, Jahid, is that you came out with this amazing campaign, which was in Jan. We'll come to that, but first, please let me do you the complete courtesy of welcoming you with your full designation. Jahid Ahmed is the Senior Vice President. Yes, he looks too young to be a Senior Vice President, but has done great work. And he's Senior Vice President and Head of Digital Marketing at HDFC Bank. So Jahid, welcome once again.
Thank you, Pawan. Thanks for having me here in part of Mediabrief. Feels like I have arrived in life now.
He's very kind.
But it's great to be over here and share the stage with you and talk about our thoughts. Thanks for having me.
I'm very grateful you're here, Jahid. And that campaign we'll come to very, very quickly. We'll start with that. We'll even play a video so that people know what we are talking about. Sure. Not that anybody wouldn't have seen it, but still, I love it so much that I don't mind seeing it again and showing it once again. But before we start, Jahid, let me tell a little more about you to my viewers and listeners and the entire audiences of Mediabrief.com. So by your leave, here goes. Jahid Ahmed, Senior Vice President and Head of Digital Marketing at HDFC Bank, is truly a young Turk. Jahid began his digital marketing career in 2010 when he joined ICICI Securities as Chief Manager for Digital Marketing, then moved to Citibank India, after which he joined HDFC Bank as AVP and Head of Digital Marketing in 2015. And since then, he's been with HDFC Bank and he was promoted to SVP and Head of Digital Marketing in 2022. Throughout, Jahid has played a pivotal role in shaping the bank's digital strategy, content marketing, and social media initiatives, thereby consistently enhancing HDFC Bank's digital presence and customer engagement. Jahid is a thought leader with a passion for digital transformation, and his passion lies in leveraging technology to create meaningful customer experiences. And as the head of digital marketing, Jahid continues to drive innovation and excellence in HDFC Bank's digital ecosystem. So that's about Jahid Ahmed, the SVP and Head of Digital Marketing at HDFC Bank. And yes, I forgot to mention one thing. Jahid actually began his career in that most difficult of mediums. It's the medium about which people say, if you can survive in radio, you can thrive anywhere. So he really cut his teeth and his chops right in the beginning with that most difficult medium, which is still languishing at about 4% of the
and I think if you can really make people sell just because on what they're listening, I think you can sell anything. And the flair that you have got in the whole advertising media today is coming from Radio Mirchi. So that rocks.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the two keywords that define Jahid are flair and the ability to sell to all TGs of HDFC Bank or any company for that matter. And he's been involved with a lot of them, as I mentioned. Jahid, let me first play out that beautiful, wonderful campaign, the end of scam sale. We heard of end of season sales, end of scam sale, really. And then the entire thought process and everything else. I mean, let me just shut up, because if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth billions. So, by your leave, let's roll out the video for our audience.
Sure.
This is the end of scam sale. Amazing. Watch it.
I know everyone's reaching out about the deepfake video that's doing the rounds.
A few weeks ago, I teamed up with someone really cool to create a deepfake ad. Actually, a whole brand, Lululemon. We put this all over the internet and people watched it. But when they clicked on the link, they found out it wasn't me. It was Vigilante.
I have partnered with crime-fighting veterans and now teamed up with such a stunning Bollywood diva, Pramada.
I'm the latest member of the Vigil Army.
Who thought this day would come? Who?
Even I didn't think the day would ever come where I'd be sharing my own deepfake video.
Watch carefully how the Vigil Army used artificial intelligence to save your real money.
Still can't believe this is AI. It looks just like me.
It's full-on copy-paste. I just wish I could copy your dance moves so easily.
Even AI has got nothing on my moves.
Direct, ma. Fashion won't ever be the same again.
Fashion won't ever be the same again. Okay, that's uncanny. Literally, that's my voice. That's scary. See? That's how easy it is. Let's tell everyone how to prevent such frauds by identifying the red flags.
Thanks, ma. I don't know if AI will take away all your jobs, but it can surely take away your zindagi bhar ki kamai.
It can impersonate your favorite celeb or even family and friends and talk to you in anyone's voice.
When you see an irresistible offer,
Even if it's a celebrity,
always do a background check and verify their social media page or website before buying. Check for things like typos, reviews, offers that are too good to be true, and the website's name and authenticity. नहीं तो बड़ा पछताओगे, बड़ा पछताओगे.
so join Vigilante's Vigil Army so together we can save India from such frauds.
Listen to Noora. And such mistakes ka mat tu. Bilbar, bilbar. Just stay vigil. Dilbar, dilbar.
Wow, Jahid, I doff my non-existent hat to you, but that was a beautiful idea, brilliantly executed. And the most important thing was the relevance. Nobody can sort of, not be worried about the fact that they might be victims of a scam. So tell me about this entire idea, what made HDFC Bank want to create a campaign like this, okay? The solid instances and growth of online fraud. I mean, you were telling people about that.
Right. So see, I think, the way India is poised, right? It's embracing digital trend and digital ecosystems growth at a rapid speed, right? What's the biggest deterrent, or rather one of the biggest deterrent? And that we realized is financial fraud today. Yeah. If there is a little bit of an apprehension as to on the adoption of digital trends and digital ecosystem in financial payments, that's what financial fraud is a key deterrent that's coming out. So being the largest private player in the bank, there's a purpose that we are striving for. And HDFC Bank's purpose stands strong, stands tall, that is help people make sense of money. Okay. And while it's helping people to make sense of money, one very important aspect that comes out every time is when people are struggling to deal with these financial frauds, which is changing rapidly by the day, the trends change by the day, how we can proactively tell people that this is going to happen to you, stay aware of it. Instead of they already facing the heat and then coming to get recognition of it. So what was happening is till that time, all the brands and whatever we were doing was slightly reactive, or it was like one-off scenario. We make a video, we roll it out. Okay, on a cyber scam day in November, we roll it out and we do some initiative. But I don't think it was kind of the nature of the fraud is such that the fraudsters are way ahead up the curve in terms of changing the trend, adopting new methodologies, and then reaching out to consumers. Okay. And that's absolutely shocking. And at times we are in awe of the trend that they come up with. So that's where we said, okay, we have to have something that, and we had tried to be, we have seen all the CID trailers, right? We have to be one step ahead of them. Okay. So we were thinking that how can we be doing so? So when that was the thought, the platform that people are maximum hooked on, right? We said, okay, let's use this platform. And who is the person who is always talking to people, making people aware? These are the key opinion leaders, and that's the influencers.
Excellent. So now tell me, which was your creative partner agency that you partnered with? Because, while people say that a camel is a racehorse designed by a committee, but I think a great head of digital marketing and a wonderful creative and rolling out partner would really make ek aur ek 111, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the creative partner. Tell me about the thinking process that actually created this concept and you all decided this is what you're going to do. Because from your very body language and the manner in which you've spoken to me just now about how HDFC is always poised to be proactively protective and educative of the consumer. You already answered one of the questions I'm going to ask you later, which is really good. But tell me about the creative process. How much time did it take?
Like the way in our ecosystem, partner and client are like both sides, two sides of one coin, right? It goes hand in hand, right? And that's why they are called as partners and not vendors. Right. So when this thought came to us, we obviously Kinect has been working with us since last like at least 5 years.
FCB Kinect.
FCB Kinect, and we the first thing was to take up the call and call them up that guys, this is the ask. Okay, what best can be done?
Yeah, they've done some great work, yes.
And rest is history. I think the number of so when we launched Vigilante, the character, the demeanor, the who will be doing it, the rolling out of each of the mnemonics, the visual, the sound is terrific. And Vigilante within the first 6 months of its launch, which was last year, got 1 million traffic. Okay. And that by itself justifies the cause, justifies the creative output that was done by FCB Kinect. So that's went fantabulous in the very last year.
How much time did it take from, okay, this is what we want to do. This is the lovely creative idea that we've together sort of co-created. Now, how much time did it take from that thought to execution? I know these are fast working days and fast output days.
It took us some time to convince the senior stakeholders.
Right. Okay. So now let me ask you another question.
Did I step in the wrong zone?
Is that, for a bank, the important thing always is, see, it's a regulated space. One. Secondly, HDFC Bank it sets standards. It's a legacy institution in India, right? And for a bank, the seriousness, the gravitas of what they do, what they offer to consumers, to their end users, in terms of whether it's, better managing their finances and funds and their savings and everything else, keeping them safe and everything. So here you were actually doing something which was a little revolutionary or a little too bindas for a bank which should be worried about how will people think, do we come across as flippant? But happily, we've seen the result, okay? There was a lot of gravitas, there was a lot of impact, and the story was told in a manner which was startling and deeply satisfying that, okay, this is it. Thank God she didn't fall victim. And this could happen to me.
Right.
So everything fell beautifully in place. What gave you the confidence to take this to your seniors? And I salute your seniors for saying, yes, let's do it. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. I think today we kind of told the seniors. So there is always pros and cons for a provocative ad.
Yes.
Yeah. And HDFC Bank has been very conventional in the way we have grown. And that has always helped to our benefit. Look at the results that we are showing month on month, quarter on quarter, year after year, right? Yes. So something that has always worked for us, we generally try to stick to it. Okay. Why to kind of venture into an unknown area till the time the cause is too big. Right. That is where we saw that, people are generally going through optimism bias, right? That till the time it's not happening to you, you always feel that it will never happen to me, right? So we kind of spoke this into front of the senior management that why we need this kind of a slightly beyond pushing our limits, beyond the conventional field to go into a zone where we challenge people to fall for it.
Okay.
And
fall for it. Another thing, you're actually pulling a fast one.
Yeah. And we are doing this so that people at least don't fall for the real ones and at least get saved by falling with us. Okay. And so this was obviously discussed, debated. It's not that it just went off flying. Okay, it was discussed because senior management wants to be very clear and thorough with the repercussions. And today's digital world is a world where everybody can express their opinion freely, and we have to be aware of both the pros and cons. And if it's going into the negative sentiment, how do we address that?
And be seen as a bank which is serious about protecting consumers.
Serious about protecting consumers, right? So because we are serious, we are taking this step. And we had all the kind of turnarounds ready. If it's falling in the positive zone, what should we kind of enhance? Okay, how do we augment? If it's falling into some of the negative zone because maybe the communication is not getting understood, how should we then take care of it? So we had the response management also kind of uptight ready with us. Okay, fortunately, I think consumers understood the need of this. Consumers loved the way they stepped onto it, and when they messages, we ensured that every nudge, every word that's being expressed out over there does not rub people on the wrong side, because understand the fact that people have taken pain to see the ad, to click on the ad, fall for a trap. When you get into a trap position, in your mindset, you actually feel bad about it. So the message that comes out immediately is not to make you feel bad, but to make you feel safe.
And alert.
And then make yourself alert. So we have ensured each and every word to be crafted beautifully, and that's why FCB Kinect also became very handy. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's how we have kind of
and
rolled
it's
it out.
just a very seamless melding of the mind, the head, which is in one corner looking from like a bird's eye view at how ye theek chal raha hai, everything is good, every word is fine. And then the creative process that beautifully takes that forward.
Right.
Really nice. It doesn't think like it's premeditated, but it seems like a very spontaneous creative. But the manner in which it is rolled out is beautiful in a regulated space. I mean, look at the gravitas and the effectiveness and impact and sensitivity with which you did it.
In fact, we took permission from Meti.
Oh.
That we are doing this.
Okay.
And they kind of went through the proposal and they gave their full green signal to us.
Wonderful.
Because lot of things were happening in deepfake, and because we were doing this for the first time in a very positive way. Okay, so we kind of took Meti through this, and they gave a green signal to us.
Look at what Poonam Pandey did. She also pulled a fast one. With due respect to her, whatever she wanted to do, whatever her motivations, but it did rub people the wrong way. But you guys were meticulous about this whole thing, and you never stepped off the gravitas path of the whole thing. So really very nice. Another thing is that it's a great story, but the telling of the story nowadays has sort of evolved with technology. So what kind of technology, whether it was generative AI or whatever else that you deployed to create this? Tell me about that.
So when we were thinking this through, that how do we do this? So the whole idea came, okay, end of season sale is the time where people get bombarded with a lot of this end of season sale ads. And that is the time also the fraudsters, it's like picnic season for them.
Okay.
So they really get very active. So and they try to then kind of dupe people by sending this kind of ads, this kind of highly discounted ads where people fall for. Okay. Generally they'll click on the ad, come to the website, give a number, and that's about it. And once you give the number, that means then they will kind of send a link to you. You click on the link and that's it, we exposed your details. Okay. So what we did was we went through the mindset and we went through the activity of a fraudster A to Z. Okay. What we did was, first is obviously the brand ambassador, right? And they are creating fake ambassadors. So we created a deep fake of our brand ambassador. And it was a real creation. We partnered with GAN AI, right? And we created a real deep fake of Noora Fatehi. And because Noora Fatehi is pretty much the real buzzword that's going around, okay, be it the fan followers, be it the kind of work that she's doing. So we kind of onboarded her.
And the age group TG that she represents.
And the age group TG. And that's a very interesting part, because we generally feel or think that, if it's digital fraud, it will be only the senior citizens who will be falling prey to it, which is not the case. It's from the Gen Zs to the empty nest. Everybody, from the metros to the hinterlands, everybody is falling prey to it in equal installments. Okay. So we got Noora Fatehi, and then what we made a proper deep fake of Noora Fatehi, okay, so that we can then put it out over there. We not only did that, we created fake website. We created multiple fake domains, because Google and Meta are supposed to block the ads when a fake ad is going. So the way a fraudster creates, they create multiple domains. If one gets blocked, the other should come out.
So you walked
the entire walk. We created multiple domains. We created multiple fake ads. And we actually created fake ads with a spelling mistake that let's see if people can capture that mistake and raise some kind of alert in their subconscious mind. Okay, which some people passed, some people kind of failed and fell trapped to it. Okay. So we did this entire process before we go live, and then when somebody clicks on the website, come to the website and gets trapped, okay, when they're hovering around the e-commerce website, what is the message that should be going through? So the entire orchestration was done pretty systematically to ensure that while they're doing, so that when they get trapped, they can take a reflection as to what they did And this should be a highlighted to them that they should not be doing this again. And what are the red flags that they should be aware of, cognizant of? Yeah.
No, that's very interesting, Jahid. So suppose I was one of those who fell prey to this, victim to this, and I clicked and I went. And what would then happen? Instead of my money and my details going to you, would you send me a message saying, hey, what are you doing? Be careful. Was that something that happened?
So what we did was, because it's your hard-earned time that you're investing in this campaign, for you are trying to go for e-commerce site, right? You want to buy something. But for us, I know you'll not be able to buy something. It's just you'll be at least getting a very valuable input in your life. Correct. So we ensure that you don't invest too much of your time. Okay. So in the very initial scroll itself, we will then come up with and saying, are you sure what you're doing? Okay. And then the nudge will come that, this is what you have done and this is what you shouldn't have done. And then we actually give you the steps, what fraudsters are doing today, which you should be aware of. And the key red flags before going through any site. Because today, see, e-commerce is growing at a significant rate.
Yes.
And today, the brilliant part of India is it's made in India. Right. Where it's not necessarily an international brand that I'm shopping from on e-commerce. I'm shopping from brilliant, brands which is India made. Might be not magnanimous in terms of brand flavor, but the quality of e-commerce shopping that I'm doing in the genre is brilliant. So I might be shopping from any small name, but the key red flags that I should be aware of while I'm doing this, that is very important.
Absolutely. No, very, very useful. In fact, I must say this, I must applaud you guys for the fact that there was no hard sell or soft sell or any sell for any product or services of HDFC Bank, because you could easily have tied up with your sister concern, HDFC Ergo, which is now offering online insurance against fraud, etc. But you didn't even do that, right? You were actually walking the purpose talk. And I think that's genuine. It isn't just clambering aboard moment marketing and opportunity, say something and get out.
This is a genuine cause done with a lot of heart in it. Okay. And we never ever want to deviate from the whole fact that we want to teach our countrymen that, embrace digital. But if you're just aware of these 3-4 things and just stay with us to kind of constantly get fed onto what are the things that you should be aware of.
Lovely.
And it's done with a lot of heart. I don't think we'll be ever...
That is visible. That is visible. That's definitely and eminently visible. Talking about the alignment of the message with the bank's whole mission, vision, and its whole purpose of existence. You already probably at the creative stage itself and along every stage, you all ensured that one thing definitely was there, which was the safety. And in terms of the purpose, in terms of the responsibility of HDFC Bank towards its customers and towards its brand in the marketplace, both of them. And in keeping with all the regulatory oversight that the government very rightly and very sensibly does, with banks in every institution. But what about the alignment of the ethos of the HDFC culture with this culture, meaning operational culture when you look at it from the customer's point of view? Message alignment, was that also something that you kept in mind? I'm sure it was, but what is the process like when you create something like this? You have safety, you have government rules, you have the bank's responsibility, and then you have the bank's messaging, its vision, its complete personality. So your brand ethos also has to reflect within it. So difficult task that, and very sinuous and seamless, but how did you sort of go about achieving that in terms of the messaging and keeping them aligned?
I'll keep it short. See, we have a very streamlined, linear manner. We stick to our brand purpose and we have guardrails fixed. Okay. We always stick to the guardrails. And whenever we are trying to push ourselves into an unknown territory, which we think, because see, I think almost all the brands like us are customer-centric, right? Which if we think that this idea has a great way to kind of impact our customers, but the next parallel thought is it impacting any kind of sentiment? Okay. If it is not impacting sentiment and is a complete outright act which will only help our consumers, I think then we try to kind of go for it. Okay. But I think in a very linear manner, we have our purpose set, we have our guardrail set, and we always try to kind of hover around this.
Wonderful. So, 1 million views right in the very beginning of the exposure to all the audiences across.
Yeah.
So your TGs perhaps were definitely any and everyone who uses a bank's services. So that age group is vast. It's like an FMCG kind of a thing, which a bank and HDFC certainly is. How did you leverage digital, and what other channels in the media mix, whether it was digital or even traditional, did you use and deploy to make sure that this very eminently deserving campaign caught the maximum eyeballs and, made an impact on the maximum number of people?
So we did not go ATL because the idea of the campaign was not to kind of make a hula hoop around it. The idea of the campaign was to make people do it.
Correct.
Okay, and either you pass the test or you pass the experience and then take a learning from it.
Yeah, because a fake scam kind of thing can't go ATL.
Can't go ATL, right? So the whole idea was, if you are looking at an ad, okay, it will come in as an ad. Okay, if you're searching on any of the search platforms, you will come across the false ad, and if you click on it, or if you understand the trick part of it and you get saved, don't click on it, or if you click on it, you will understand what you shouldn't have done. So it was very much, we again, as I told you, we followed the pattern that a fraudster does. They generally take care of all the search keywords. They generally bombard you with all the ads on Meta. Okay. And they will generally, what they will do is on the website, the website will be it will be slightly not conventional. Okay. And the website is too much of offers. If you look at the whole aspect, the followers, okay, or the kind of people who is there as a part of the ad, they will not have followers, though they will follow. Okay. They will not be recent in Instagram. Okay, there will be no post of theirs.
Correct.
Now, these kind of profiles are very tricky and we should be aware of them.
Yes.
Okay, and we created multiple
These
profiles.
are red flags.
Yeah, and we created multiple profiles. So let's say there is a brand ad that you see. Okay, you might not know the name, but might be a very authentic one. You will see people who have liked them or people who are talking about it. When you click on them, you will see who are those profiles.
Bots.
Okay, they are bots. So that's exactly the way to identify, so though the profiles are restricted, but you can easily see number of posts, number of followers, number of following. That kind of gives you a red signal.
This is a beautiful thing. You can actually develop into a series, of kind of public service initiatives. Along with HDFC Ergo Insurance. Why not?
No, again, I told you, this is with a lot of heart, product, they will sell any which way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so,
and my compliments and gratitude to you for a campaign like this. But before we go on, let's complete this part of the conversation about the campaign. What was the impact like? I'm sure it was amazing, but tell us, give us some numbers if you can, or whatever you want to share.
So I think the impact was way more than expected. Okay. So
you surprised yourself.
We surprised ourselves, and there were a lot of feelings. We were apprehensive, we were excited, we were like, okay, will there be traction? Okay, or will people easily understand, because we have been a lot of campaigns are happening around the corner. Okay, but I think it was fantabulous. Okay, we reached around a 30 million kind of people. Okay,
wow.
But apart from all the reach and all the tractions, people coming and then figuring it out, what was amazing was the number of media houses that fell for it.
Oh.
Take the name of any...
Oh, yeah. Some 70, 80 media houses fell for it.
80 media houses fell for it.
I remember reading about it.
They all reported that Noora Fatehi's deepfake is there. Okay, because the way we had panned out the campaign, that Noora Fatehi all of a sudden comes and says, oh, please don't, because my deepfake has been created. Okay, and that's exactly what she did. Media houses captured it all and they told the story and they shared the link, and that's exactly what we wanted. And media houses and the kind of earned media that we got from this was amazing.
Clever man. Using a star like her for an FMCG kind of thing. And entertainment today is huge. And then Noora Fatehi getting deep faked.
Right. So, and there has been, there has never been such a fraud campaign that has been done in such a mega scale event, where we receive people who then, because there was a call to action which said that please join us, volunteer us to evangelize this act.
Wonderful.
There were 8 lakh people who joined us for this cause after this campaign.
Wonderful.
So 8 lakh people volunteering to join us, because it's a rising trend, it's a changing trend. And we, all of us, and only one, we cannot do it. Everybody, we have to create an army. Correct. And over 8 lakh people volunteered to be a part of us and joined our WhatsApp group. where we broadcast everyday's trend and they simultaneously then broadcast across to their countrymen. Okay. So I think it's a great momentum that has started and I hope we can just build on to it.
Brilliant. You know, there was about a year, 2 years, whatever, back when Fevicol turned 60, they had this amazing Sharma Inka Sofa campaign, which I truly loved. And I told Piyush and his brother about it, who did the music.
Yeah.
And this is another one that ranks right up there. Another one was Ladki Haath Se Nikal Jayegi. And some beautiful, memorable campaigns. How does it feel for a young guy like you, being with the Piyushs and the others, the slightly older generation, and creating such beautiful stuff that stands up and eyeballs everybody else? Kaisa lagta hai?
Well, I think Piyush is a
he's an
a god in the
institution.
advertising.
He's an
He's an institution.
But really,
but I think it's always it's amazing to see the way we are aspiring to do something for the consumers. Okay, it's amazing to see that how the bank has given us the freedom to think.
Wonderful.
How the bank has allowed us that go ahead and experiment. The trust that the bank has laid on to its team members. And the experiment that the bank is always willing to do.
Wonderful.
To say that it's a adventurous world out there. Wonderful. And if we don't take these initiatives in innovations is not only in terms of AdTech or MarTech platform. Initiatives are also in terms of the new kind of creative that we are doing.
Yes.
The way we are reaching out to people. And I think gone are the days where we have to be only product centric. If we are meaningful to the consumer, be it in the way their lifestyle is and how we are shaping their lifestyle, okay, I think that really helps as a brand to kind of enhance in customers' memory life cycle. And that's what we're trying to do.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So you've said a lot about the leaders, about the bank itself. Tell me a little bit about the kind of support, objective kind of ideas and strength that FCB Kinect gave you also. Because I think they are an amazing agency and I'm sure that, like you said, partners, two sides of the same coin. But tell me, what is behind a great client-agency relationship and what helps you, what about it helps you with Kinect?
I think the first thing that works great is the more you fight, the better brainstorming happens and the better result comes out. Okay. But just I think...
So that's passionate people on both sides.
That's passionate people on both sides because there cannot be yes men to our work.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think when there are constructive ideas coming from both the sides, okay, there is a lot of work, that's a lot of ideas that's flowing in, and then the judgment to decide which idea to go ahead with, which is aligned with the customers, with the brand's philosophy. We allow the partners to go as adventurous as possible.
Right.
And then we kind of see that how can we ideate, we take a step back and we kind of maybe modify it. And that's where, a very a comprehensive effort comes in from where both people join hands together. And starting from the brief to the end execution, both people are equally at stake on it and they're kind of executing the whole act. So FCB Kinect, I think since the start of our whole partnership, not even now, it's like half a decade back. Okay, I think year after year, campaigns after campaigns, we have made some fabulous stuff which has won us a lot of awards. And hoping more than awards, it should be winning hearts, and that's where we are going ahead.
No, absolutely. FCB Kinect definitely wins hearts of a lot of CMOs.
Yeah.
And they do good work. But of course, it's what their client guides also elicit out of them.
Right.
So, but you have to be ready and able with everything at your command, and that is required to be able to service and provide the client with solutions. So you are both a match made in heaven.
I think it's more important that, both of them are always up the trend and they should understand the trend.
Yes.
Because if both of them, the client and the partner, if the one does not appreciate the other, what they are presenting, then it will not fall through.
So it all stems from mutual respect and confidence in each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Let's move to the bigger picture, Jahid, of digital marketing for banks. Highly regulated space, a lot of sensitivities over there, and all with a good reason because all stakeholders have to be protected. So regulation is important. Please share some insights into HDFC Bank's overall digital marketing strategy. I'll leave it to you. It's an open-ended thing.
A proud factor that we can talk about is the way digital marketing has moved beyond a support function to a revenue generation team.
Lovely.
Okay, so today, the whole digital marketing spectrum, if you see, okay, they are a team which is actually contributing as a channel to banks' business, directly as a channel, okay. And that's a stem that we are very excited about and is growing very steadily. The second part of it, which is entire social media engagement, okay, which is where so one side where it's business, the other side of digital marketing is ensuring that we do activities, we do engagement work that is increasing brand love. And increasing positive sentiments in the social media space, right? So that's about increasing sentiments. One part is performance and the other part is the entire website. So when the sentiments are good, when people are loving the brand, they obviously want to come into a digital property which is very efficient, very seamless, personalized, because today's world want personalized services, right? So then that's the website, that's a property. Okay, that's personalized and will help you to kind of discover anything at your fingertips, right? And then today, banking, one part is banking product, but the larger part is also banking services, right? The way we have stitched all the pipes, okay, and that's a lot of work that has happened at the bank's end, okay, at the bank's digital transformation end, where today you can have almost many services at your fingertips and you don't even need to step out of your house. So technically, be it a product, be it a service, everything can be done at your fingertips.
Right, and communicated about beautifully through digital marketing.
Communicated through beautifully. We have a beautifully campaign orchestration system where when to communicate, how to communicate, what's the kind of language, what is the kind of persona, right? So we have deep dived a lot. So there are a lot of other teams that's working along with us. We have a huge data science team that is working with us to understand the propensity of to take a product. Okay. There is a risk team that helps us understand what is the risk appetite and should a product be given to you at this stage or not, or maybe at a later stage. Okay. So starting from understanding the risk appetite to then a data analytics team helping us with propensity to take it. Okay, because the risk appetite is good, but you might not be wanting it.
Correct.
Right? To the campaign, where to be served, when to be served. To the entire journey is very seamless. So the end-to-end overall journey is kind of being awesome. Yeah.
Tell me, with this campaign, you kept Google and Meta in the dark. Even their algorithms couldn't catch that, this is a deep fake or something or the other, and they should sort of put a stop to it.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right. So
did they come back to you after the campaign and say, hey, this was really fabulous?
They're also appreciating
What did
the
you
campaign.
hear?
They're appreciating the campaign. On the funniest side, we were talking it like this is pretty much like the in the Hindi movies where the police comes at the end of the whole scene. Right. But so the Metas of the world did come back and say it's a fab campaign. But maybe we were expecting, maybe it did block a couple of ads. Okay. But we were ready with multiple ads to be served, and that's pretty much the trend.
Like you really were thinking and prepared like scamsters.
Scamsters, yeah.
This is the end of scam sale campaign from HDFC Bank, which I think I first saw in January of this year, 2024.
Right.
Wonderful. So what's your digital marketing team structure like? Because a lot of things have to be done and you have so many things. I mean, as SVP and head of digital marketing at HDFC Bank, there are so many aspects. Like you mentioned, the entire list, it's a huge checklist of things at the tech, at the consumer or at the product, and then at the communications front. So lots of things there. What is a day like for you? When do you begin? What do you do about quality of life? And the whole process of working in the office and ensuring that even the junior most person is not sort of looking at somebody else in a meeting to say, "Acha, ye mera boss kya bol raha hai?" If he says yes, I will say yes. How do you ensure it's not a chorus of yes men? Your process, how you work, how do you make sure your teams work together cohesively?
No, I think I'll also maybe talk about the culture of the bank. Okay. So the culture of the bank is empowering and enabling your team in such a manner that the supervisor is kind of monitoring, supervising, and not getting into the tea of the fact. Okay. So that's what makes the team members feel proud that they're owning the activity. Okay. And that's why we have a team with the whole digital marketing team is structured in such a manner, which is like, the digital performance team. There is a media team because today media is very integrated, right? So there is a very thin line of difference between ATL, and let's say video, to a connected TV, to a YouTube, it's all falling under video stream, right? To OTTs coming in, right? So the media is coming very integrated. Okay, so there's a media team, there's a performance team, there's a website team, there's a content team, because content I think is very significant going away, because content, be it in terms of infographics, be it in terms of podcasts, be it in terms of articles, or be it in terms of Instagram Reels, content is content, and content is being consumed. We need to understand the nuance of each of the platform and how we are serving content, the same content, but in a different format, in different style.
Repurposed.
Okay. So that's where a content team is very important. And today we drive around 1 to 1.5 million traffic organically on a monthly basis on our content sections. Okay.
Wonderful.
So that's month on month. Okay. So, and then the social media team. And that then we have a downstream team, which is also helping us. So whatever lead comes in performances, we help that we immediately address them. So that's how the whole spread of the digital team is, looking at performance, to brand love, to growth on website and digital properties.
And all supported by ORM, which is extensive
ORM
and
is
exhaustive.
ORM is the overarching feature which is encapsulating the entire bank, because all the products, whichever product or campaign that we go live with, has to be a part of ORM, because today the first level of feedback that comes is in ORM.
And you are in a frenetically evolving, changing, ever-changing space of digital and tech. You are at the confluence of both.
Right.
And therefore, the most important people with you obviously are your talent. But then they also have to remain redundancy-proof. They have to remain completely updated. Being digital and in the space, you are at a confluence of, and you use two very, very important strengths. One obviously is your team, your talent, your people. And second is technology. And within technology, there are a lot of advancements, a lot of, it's a frenetically changing and ever sort of upgrading space. So what are the trends and learning and development aspects that you ask your teams inside to focus on? And how does HDFC Bank, the HR, in conjunction with you, ensure that L&D is available to all beautifully? Tell me.
In fact, that's one of the strong USPs that we have.
Okay.
There's a very interesting dialogue that Amir Khan says in 3 Idiots. अपने आप को काबिल बना, पैसा अपने आप आ जाएंगे. ठीक है. I think that's what we always talk to our team members. That make yourself so much empowered with knowledge, and the work. The kind of premise that we have in HDFC Bank, the kind of work that we do, is significant and at a very different level. So you are getting hands-on learning, and you get amazing facilities from the HR team that where we have licenses across multiple platforms, where today, be it a generative AI course, be it a behavioral economics course to understand consumer mindset, because a lot of our digital guys are domain experts.
Lovely.
They not necessarily be consumer centricity experts, right? So we have to understand consumer trend, we have to understand cultural trend, and we have to understand digital trend, right? So, and whatever is required, be it a hands-on experience, or be it talking to a lot of other educational courses, or be it because we are, let's say, a lot of times the Meta and the Googles of the world takes exclusive, workshops with us to kind of update what's recently happening in this in either of these 3 shapes and sizes. So I think the team is always up the curve, and that's what I was telling you. The partner and the client both have to be up the curve to appreciate each other's thought process.
That's wonderful.
Otherwise, we'll never understand what the guys, where the partners are coming from, or the partners will never understand that at what level the agency, the clients are trying to suggest and why they're trying to suggest. Okay, and that's why we always seek out to a lot of partners. We have a session called DigiTrends, which is done monthly once, where we actually call out there are so many startups, the young guns are starting so many startups. We call the startups, and they tell us that's what they're doing and what their features are, so that, we not necessarily we have to imbibe all of them, but we at least listen to them, and that kind of sparks a lot of ideas. And we also give a lot of startups a chance to kind of work with us. Right? So we have a very healthy trend to kind of incorporate a lot of knowledge from outside. And we also push ourselves, and thanks to HR for us, that they have created an L&D section where our guns kind of go and register themselves and all these platforms, and they can study about them and take exams. And we monitor. We can see that, who is doing how many courses and what's the strategy that they're putting in after learning from them.
So Jahid, just 2 short questions, and these are also very important for me and for our listeners because they'll get a lot of insights. Number 1, a youngster comes to you, says, Zahid sir, I want to work with you. Okay? Could be a fresher just out of college, out of a BMM course or whatever else course. What are the 2 or 3 things that you definitely look for? Let's say HR has checked all the boxes. What is it in terms of quality, in terms of talent, in terms of attitude or whatever? Just, tell the people out there, the youngsters, that this is what I will look for when you come to me. Go ahead.
I think what works the best with us is attitude towards your work. You might or might not have the right set of domain knowledge, but I think that you will get to learn with us. Okay, if you have the right attitude to work, the right attitude to understand consumers and shape up as to what the consumer is thinking, and then come up with thoughts. Brilliant or not is irrespective. Come up with thoughts. Take initiatives. Take ownership. And that's attitude that we are looking forward to, and that's attitude that will help you grow in the industry across all the brands.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure that's going to help everybody who's wanting to, get their first interview call. Yeah. Attitude is important, and this doesn't happen overnight just by listening to you, but also by inculcating it.
Yeah.
Another leader had told me that, it's also very important that I look at all my teammates as people who should be playing like as if they're in a sports team. You have your function, make sure you do that really well and be a team player rather than some brilliant guy sitting in a corner.
Right.
So yeah, but what you said was really very interesting. Last question, okay? Way back in 2019 end, I think, Hootsuite, it's one of the biggest in the world and has some of the best digital marketers globally. They reached out to 3,200 odd digital marketers and they asked them, what are the top 5 digital marketing trends according to you? Right? And about 82% of those 3,200 top tier Hootsuite paying digital marketers, therefore a very serious set, global marketers, digital marketers said that close to 48% of my digital marketing budget goes on dark social. WhatsApp, Messenger, Telegram, a bit of that. So I'm not going to ask you about that. You can share what are the main parts of your digital marketing media mix, so to speak, whether it's, if it's ATL, obviously it's different platforms. It's BTL, if different platforms that are organic, ATL, and BTL is earned media, ATL is above the line. But tell me, as the overall marketing budget, and you can't differentiate digital and marketing now, but let's just say, with due respect to Philip Kotler and keeping him in mind, marketing budget, what part of your budgets are on digital marketing for HDFC Bank?
First is, Pawan, thanks for the great insight of Hootsuite. Interesting aspect. I think of 50-60% of the budget today, at least in HDFC Bank, we are putting towards digital.
Lovely.
And that is because we understand a lot of passion points. We understand a lot of passion points being consumed in what kind of platforms. And we understand also the objective of each of our campaigns. And based on the objective of each of our campaigns, we kind of put the budgets. So there's enough room of flexibility to say, this is the objective, hence maybe this is required in terms of the media mix and the media shape might change accordingly. But at an overall level, I think 50-60% of the budget will be attributed to digital.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm Pawan Chawla, you're tuned to MediaCast, and with me is the peerless Jahid Ahmed of HDFC Bank. Jahid, why should youngsters and senior people alike looking for employment in digital marketing come to HDFC Bank?
I think HDFC Bank is the place for people to kind of join, grow, and see a beautiful career shaping up. The kind of consumers that we have, the kind of management that we have, the kind of leadership that we have is always there to guide you, mentor you, and have your back even in times of failure, and is always bucking you up for more and more experiments and innovation. That's the place to be over there, if you're in digital or not. But
wonderful, wonderful. And it's one of the largest banks. And you yourself have been there since what, 2015?
2015, yes.
Amazing.
And 2015, heading digital, but not a single second that I've got bored.
Wonderful. Wow, Jahid, I have truly enjoyed myself. I think a lot of insights, this amazing campaign of yours, End of Scam Sale, that you created along with FCB Kinect. Amazing teamwork, and what beautiful impact. I mean, media people fell for it, and millions have watched it. And more than 8 lakh people have joined up with you and said, we will take this campaign forward and we will inform everybody, all our near and dear ones. And these are not influencers, but actual users who are scared for and care for their own people and themselves. So beautiful. I found this really very insightful. Enjoyed the conversation. Thank you ever so much. And tell me, what did you think of your chat with me?
No, so Pawan, I think thanks so much. First of all, Mediabrief is doing a fantastic job in its own space, right? And Pawan, thanks for initiating this, because today I think youngsters need mentorship, and not everybody can reach out to everyone, right? So I think this is a brilliant space that Mediabrief is doing, and Pawan, thanks for initiating this, that where we can reach out to people and maybe help them, guide them to do what's happening, what's not happening, the trends, and what's working from a brand side point of view, and how partners are helping each other, right? That's great. And also, when I think when we talk, it gives me a time to reflect on what has happened, and gives me a time to reflect on what the misses are. Maybe what I'm talking to is much more filtered out, but maybe behind, subconsciously, I'm also thinking some of the things that we could have done better, maybe, And
I must tell you, I surprised you with all my questions. But before, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but you said thanks for initiating this twice. Actually, in my format, I always acknowledge the person who actually initiates these conversations. And this time round, I'm very, very grateful, my team and I are, to Jewelry of FCB Kinect. She was the one who reached out. I've known her as one of the most wonderful journalists in the past. Now she's into comms and much more with FCB Kinect. So, but thank you, Jewelry, for doing this. Yes, I interrupted you. Please continue.
These kind of platforms really help, both as an orator, where I can reflect my thoughts, and as a listener, where people can be guided, can get mentored. Okay, and hope people can just take bits of pieces from it. And if anything can help anyone, I think the purpose is solved.
So well said, and thank you. You've been really very, very gracious and very kind with your praise, and very generous with all the insights. And they're all invaluable because they come from a wide, rich, deep set of experiences and initiatives that you've rolled out with such great effect. So,
first of all, again, last but not the least, thanks for having. And it's really great because I've been listening to your podcasts and videocasts, right? And I think it's one of the great places to be around and share with such a exemplary figure of the industry.
Thank you, and Godspeed and God bless.
Thank you.
So that was Jahid Ahmed, the wonderful digital Turk, Senior Vice President and Head of Digital Marketing at HDFC Bank, on this very special episode to me for sure. And I'm sure my listeners and viewers also would enjoy and would have enjoyed all the wonderful insights from Jahid. He heads digital marketing at HDFC Bank. And I found it full of insights, and I hope that you too most certainly did. Till we meet again in the next episode of MediaCast, this is your host and friend Pawan Chawla from Mediabrief.com saying, take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.